Welcome back to another segment of the MCR. My name's TJ. Please like, share, and subscribe. Today, on one of my favorite news sites, The Gateway Pundit, I saw a headline. And I'll read the headline here to you. It says, Wisconsin Assembly votes to advance Representative Ramthun's resolution to reclaim Wisconsin's electors for president and vice president that were certified under fraudulent purposes. Basically, in a nutshell, they want to say that those electoral votes were wrong. Okay, but in any event, seeing that headline took me down memory lane to a segment that I had done back in May of 2020. In that segment, I talked about a man by the name of Derrik Van Orden. Derrik Van Orden. And in 2020, he ran as a Republican for Wisconsin's 3rd Congressional District. He, like Trump, was not certified the winner of that year's elections. Well, I'm thrilled to announce that this year, 2022, he's given it another shot. First, in August 9th of this year, he's got to run and win in the Republican primary. And then, assuming he or whoever wins the Republican primary, will then face the Democrat challenger for November 8th's election. And the reason why I say the Democrat challenger is because the current office holder, Ron Kind, K-I-N-D, Ron Kind, has announced that he is not seeking re-election. And that's something I'm going to talk about here in a couple minutes here. But in any event, let's go back to May 2020 when I did that segment on Derrik Van Orden. The title of that segment was This Man's Last Straw, referring to Derrik Van Orden. And you know, when I think back to that year, that election, 2020, Derrik Van Orden, it just fires me right back up as to what all happened. When you consider the irregularities, the anomalies, the hanky-panky that happened in 2020 during that year's elections, and how disheartened you and I were with the news that Trump was not certified as the winner. You had the negative residual effect, similarly on Derrik Van Orden. And in retrospect, thinking back to 2020, had Derrik Van Orden won that seat, we'd be a step closer to taking the House. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that had it not been for these odd peculiarities, irregularities, anomalies, however you want to say it, I have to wonder whether or not we could have had a chance to take the House in 2020. In any event, what prompted Derrik Van Orden to run in 2020 was the Democrat impeachment of Donald Trump, President Trump. And in an interview with Maria Bartiromo on Fox Business, Derrik Van Orden basically said to Maria, when the Democrats impeached President Trump, that was the last straw. That was the last straw with him. And that's what prompted him to get into politics. Well, it's pretty obvious that with the second impeachment that the Democrats did on President Trump, that only stiffened his resolve, because he's going at it again. Except this year he's not going to be running against Ron Kind, because Ron Kind announced, and here's the kicker on this, Ron Kind announced in 2021, I don't know exactly when Ron Kind announced, other than I have an article here in the Politico, August 10th date, announcing reporting that Ron Kind announcing he's not seeking re-election. Now, when you look at the time frame here, this guy didn't even wait a year after the 2020, we'll say, victory. Okay, so Ron Kind is certified the winner in November of 2020, and then August of the very next year, he announces he's retiring. A year's time frame didn't even pass, and this guy and Political says it was a gutting blow to the House Democrats in their uphill battle to hang on to their majority next November, that being November 2022. Ron Kind is reported as saying, "I've run out of gas after 13 terms in office." 13. The Political article would continue saying, Kind, who spent nearly 25 years in the House, faced a closer than expected race in Wisconsin. Ron Kind beat his GOP challenger, Derrik Van Orden, by less than 3% in 2020, when in the previous election cycle, he won easily by 20 points. So, 4 years ago, Ron Kind easily won that election. And then 2 years ago, or we'll say 2020, Ron Kind runs and barely wins. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not convinced he did. Okay? So, and just one more thing from the Political article here. Democrats close to Kind said he acknowledged his re-election would be tougher this year with Van Orden, a retired Navy SEAL, seeking a rematch. So that's what Political had to say about Ron Kind last year in August. Now, if you want to know about Derrik Van Orden, I did a segment on him, like I said, May of 2020, and I gave a kind of a background on Derrik Van Orden. He grew up in poverty in rural Wisconsin. Joined the Navy, became a Navy SEAL, became an interrogator for the Navy SEALs, okay? Retired from the Navy, and then when the Democrats impeached President Trump, that was his last straw. He said, "That's it." His comment was, "I was called to serve in the Navy. Now I'm called to serve in the government, representing his people." So, in any event, I think Ron Kind retired because he, like the Democrats, they know the gig is up. In 2020, and this is just a theory of mine, in 2020, the Democrats snookered the Republicans. I'm not, at the risk of being an optimist, I'm not convinced they're going to be able to snooker the Republicans again this year. So if that's the case, Ron Kind knows he can't win. Derrik Van Orden's going to kick his derriere. And, Derrik Van Orden should have won in 2020, and he ought to win this year. The guy's heavily favored. He's very popular. He's liked by the people in the area. And I got to tell you, I'm thrilled that Derrik Van Orden is giving it another shot. And I think of Derrik Van Orden, and this is one more seat that we're probably going to gain on the Democrats. And Derrik Van Orden serves as Exhibit A of why I do believe the Republicans are taking the House back, okay? Because you got the Derrik Van Ordens and whoever else is out there. And he's kind of in the Trump column. Like I said, it was the impeachment of President Trump that compelled Derrik Van Orden to get involved in politics, okay? So I really hope this guy does well. I was a fan of his back in 2020. I'm a fan of his today. Too bad I'm not in Wisconsin to vote for the guy, being here in Michigan. So that's all I got to say. I just see this as some really good news coming out of Wisconsin. We took our licks in 2020. I'm still praying to God it's not too late to be righting this ship. So that's all I got for this one. And I'll catch you in the next segment. Thanks for watching, everybody. As always, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.